Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can want to support us, you can do that. Little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. Okay. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Boom. What is good? What is happening, everybody? It's your boy, Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. Today is a great day. Am I right, Caleb?
Oh, baby, it's so good. So good to be a fan of the NFC East right now.
Damn right.
Great teams.
Damn right. Three of the final four teams in the
playoffs.
semifinals in the NFC, our NFC East team. I kept telling everybody we're the best division of football. Let me tell you why. All right, so I was on Twitter, right? And I was on Twitter, and shout out to Eli Ricks. He's a co-host of New York Revival. He said when the NFL is good, when the NFC East is good. He's right, because let me tell you why. You have four of the largest fan bases in the entire NFL in one division, right? And they travel. They travel. You know, Philly fans travel to New York. New York fans travel to Philly. Philly can travel to Washington. Washington travel to New York. New York can travel to Washington. And they all fly to Dallas. They all fly to Dallas. And Dallas fans show up to all three of them, right? They're the only time ever where the Dallas fans show up to a stadium and they're outnumbered when they go to those three stadiums. Every other stadium, Cowboys fans take over. Cowboys fans take over your stadium. Yeah, only three stadiums, they don't do that. And that's the New York Giants, Philly, and Washington. When Washington's good. When they're not good, they don't show up because they don't. Like, when the teams are good, Dallas fans get outnumbered because Giants fans show, because sometimes you don't want to pay money or, $300 to watch your team get blown out by 40. You don't want to do that. You're still a diehard fan, but, financially, it's irresponsible. All right? But when the NFC East is popping, the NFL be locking. And guess what? 3 teams in the NFC East are now locked in to the divisional round. We're the best division in football. Yeah. All 4 teams were in the hunt to make the playoffs. Washington got bounced the second to last week of the season. I don't count week 17, even though it does matter, because the only team that really had a shot to make the playoffs was Detroit and the Packers. They got bounced. Well, you know what? Okay, fine. Scratch that. It does matter. There was still time to play. But they got bounced in week 15 because Seattle won one of their games. But throughout the entire season, when we kept looking at that playoff picture, what did we see, Caleb? The entire division was in the playoffs. We had a show about it a couple weeks ago. Is it possible? Yes, it was possible. It didn't happen, but it was possible. It's not impossible. It's possible. Next year. What happens next year? All 4 teams can make it. They may have found one in Sam Howell. The way they dispatched Dallas in that last game. But I don't mean to damper on the Dallas mood. Let me,
That doesn't bother me. It doesn't even bother me.
It doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother you. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? We kick ass.
Some glory hole.
You got your glory hole, Jerry. You got your glory hole. They broke the curse. First road win since 1992. First win against Tom Brady in 9 attempts. He was 8-0. Now he's 8-1. Caleb, break down the Monday Night Football game. And I just want to talk to you about a little something that happened between some of the players. Continue. Go, Caleb.
Well, I just got to start off with it. Rain, Dakota, Prescott. He just had probably his best game of his career.
I'm sorry. My bad, Jack. Actually, no, I don't apologize. I don't know why. I don't know why I apologize. I'll laugh at you regardless. Continue.
He had his best game of his career. He was just awesome all game. Well, maybe not all game, because at the start of the game, it was not awesome. The first 2 drives were, I thought, oh snap, like it's just carrying over from the Washington game over to this game. When I first started saw those first 2 drives, because he just wasn't connecting. Looked very similar to last week. But then he got hot and it started getting going. And then he finished with 25 of 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, rushed 7 times, 24 yards, got a touchdown. He was just, like I said, once he started getting going, he just couldn't miss. Like, he was just on it. I mean, he even broke Aikman's record for most consecutive completions in a playoff game. I mean, he was just on. He just couldn't miss. Like,
how much was that? Was that 5 in a row?
No, 11.
Aikman really didn't throw because he just handed the ball off to Emmitt Smith a lot. So I don't know.
He threw in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm
trolling. Not that record, so obviously
I'm trolling Troy Aikman, Caleb. I'm trolling Troy Aikman. Continue.
But yeah, he was just on it, and you could just see how confident he was in the way he was playing. And this is the best version of Dak when he can both run and pass. And we haven't seen that as much the last couple of years. Maybe it was because of the injury that he suffered. But when he's able to just run and pass and that's how Dak Prescott's game is to be just a football player, really. And because that's what he did in college. That's what he did his rookie year. It's just, just to become a football player, playing quarterback. And he would just, he makes those tough runs. You saw all the stains on his shirt, getting grass in his helmet. He just wanted it, and you could definitely see that all throughout the game, how much he wanted to win this game, and what he was putting into it. And he was getting a lot of targets to Dalton Schultz. Schultz played awesome. He was getting open. And he was catching the ball.
5 yards, 2 touchdowns, 13.6 yards a catch for Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, and he's just one of those tight ends. Not a lot of people talk about him, but he is one of the better tight ends in the entire league. And I think he's shown that with his numbers in the last 3 seasons. He has pretty good, really good numbers. But he doesn't get a lot of recognition for that.
Shout out to Stanford, man. That's like Stanford. How many tight ends do they produce? Like, they have 4 tight ends that start in the NFL? Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Also, too, like with the Dalton Schultz success, Caleb, sorry to interrupt you. Where the hell was Devin White and Levante David? Like, they put Travis Kelce on lock in that Super Bowl. The regression of them two. Where the hell did they go? Like, Dalton Schultz had that's.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely wide open in that first touchdown. Where he just he was even wide open on the other touchdown. Dak didn't see him in time when he was rolling out. But then he eventually got it to him. But yeah, he was just waving his arms like, I'm wide open. They just were not able to cover him pretty much throughout the game because like I said, he had a ton of reception. He led the team in receptions. But as far as the running game, Tony Pollard was really, really nice this game. Had really good runs, breaking tackles, especially on that one run where you're just on the outside, just breaking through everybody. That was due to a lot. They're vulnerable on the outside when you're spreading this Bucs defense out because a lot of their main players like Vita Vea and all those linebackers, they just want to come downhill.
They want to funnel. They want to funnel downhill.
Yeah. So when you spread them out, and Tony Pollard was just able to take advantage of that and get a big time runs on the outside, and that was awesome to see there. Offensive line was really good. Obviously we had that one sack by Vita Vea, but that was early on in the game. But after that, it was clean. Like, Dak had a ton of time to throw the ball, and like I just said, Pollard was able to, they were pulling a lot and able to block those guys on the outside and get out there and make holes up for Pollard. So the line was good, and that was even with Jason Peters going down left and Tyler Smith was able to go right back at the left tackle and be really, really good. Obviously, Connor McGovern, we were supposed to use him as fullback, but we didn't really use him like that. We put him back, he went back as starting guard when Peters went out. And, just everybody Tyron Smith started playing great. The whole line was really, really good. And then as far as the defense, we had made a big difference having Jonathan Hankins back in the lineup. That's a huge thing for our rush defense.
When did he get hurt? I didn't hear anything of an injury. When did he get hurt? When did he get hurt? I didn't hear anything about an injury with Jonathan Hankins.
Yeah, he got hurt a while back. He's been hurt for maybe 6 games. When
did you guys acquire him? Which week was that?
I think right before the trade, the week before the trade deadline.
Wow, so he basically missed most of his Dallas stint because he only
he was good. He was good for maybe 5 games. I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was
no. Hold up, isn't the trade deadline week 7?
Yeah, it was halfway through the season.
Yeah, so if he missed 6 games, that's 6 out of.
I'm not sure exactly when he got hurt. And maybe it was maybe more 4 games he's been out.
That's most. There. That's minimum. It's
he played a stretch of games when he first got here for 4 or 5 games where he was good. It did make a difference in our rush defense.
Cool.
And him coming back definitely helped them out. But also the Bucs just decided not to run the ball. I mean, they haven't been able to run the ball since the first game against us. That's the only time they actually did run the ball. But so I don't know. Seeing how much success you had in the first game against us, why would you not decide to do that again?
Seeing what the Packers did against you. The Packers were down and they decided to run the ball and they can't. Why don't other teams watch how other teams beat teams? I don't understand.
I'm not sure.
I just don't get it. You watch the Packers beat them while running the ball. You're like, let's not run the ball. We have and here's the thing too. They have 2 good running backs that juxtapose each other. Ricard White and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
What? Leonard Fournette had, let me see, Caleb.
Yeah,
Leonard Fournette had 5 carries. They gave Ricard White 2 more carries. They gave Leonard Fournette 5 carries. That's not a Leonard Fournette problem. That's a scheme problem.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Another big thing for us was Leighton Vander Esch coming back as well. Mm-hmm. He's been hurt for a few weeks, and he led the team in tackles. He was awesome. He was making all kinds of plays in the game. He was even in coverage. He had 2 pass deflections in coverage. He could have picked off a ball multiple times. So he looked really good in his game back from injury. Those two guys definitely made a difference in our defense. Our defense was really good throughout the game. Obviously we forced with them not running, we forced Tom Brady to throw 66 times. Goddamn.
That's just unnecessary, dog.
45-year-old quarterback throwing that many damn times. That's just ridiculous. And that's why they got their ass kicked. I mean, pretty much you're going to get one-dimensional, especially against our team, who basically that's what we want you to do is just stay passing so you don't run on us, and we'll go after your quarterback and we'll get pressure on you. And that's what we did. We got pressure on you throughout the game. Parsons was excellent. He's getting all kinds of pressure on Brady. He got a sack on him, forcing him to make back throws. He was completely inaccurate in this game. Now, I think a lot of it was the pressure we got on him.
The book's out on Tom Brady. You beat Tom Brady by inside pressure. The Giants showed you that in the first Super Bowl. How do you beat them? Inside pressure. Chris Canty, Barry Cofield, Kavika Mitchell. Shout out to Kavika Mitchell. Shout out to you, big dog.
And even parts on the outside coming from the edge, he was able to get 2 knockdowns. Could have even picked off one and taken to the house if you call it.
But Michael Parsons is a special human being. So wherever you put him, the man will rush the passer.
Yes, but he did get it was one pressure in the middle where he just ran right up the middle, and he just knocked away Leonard Fournette like nothing, and he was able to get to Brady. That was awesome. But and then finally, I want to shout out to Israel Mukuamu. We hadn't shown this of him playing. I guess Dan Quinn wanted to keep it covered up, or I don't know what was going on. Because Israel Mukuamu was playing I think he was playing nickel corner. He was looking really good. Like he was great in coverage. He did really well. I think playing as much as he did. I don't think he hasn't played that much at all, really. And he was able to get there, have a nice game. Obviously, with Xavier Rhodes out there, we know his limitations at his age. He's just not able to run. That's why he kind of got beat against Mike Evans and Julio Jones and whatnot. Just can't run no more. But he was at least in the smaller, the shorter routes, he was at least able to cover there. That's what Brady was doing pretty much all game, was just throwing a bunch of short stuff. Kind of racking up these receptions, but we were with the great thing that I love to see, that we were tackling. We tackled really well in this game. As soon as they caught it, we were on them. So I love to see that. When definitely going to need to do that again, going up against the Niners. So hopefully
he's a very unique nickel corner, Israel Mukuamu. It's very unique because the man's what, like what,
yeah, he is. You don't really see those
right?
type of corner.
Yeah,
you don't see that. You don't really see that at all.
I think
those type of corners are usually shorter.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about him was, Caleb, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in his draft, is that he didn't have fluidity in his hips, right? He couldn't flow with his hips, right?
And that's why I think Dan Quinn switched him to safety right away. Like he wanted to make him a safety. And he's kind of, what problem with that is, he wasn't always the best tackler. He was kind of reluctant to, hit, considering he
also
was a corner.
Too, with nickel corners, right, they're usually guarding slot receivers, right, all the time. What do slot receivers run? They're not usually running deep routes, right? Those are the outside guys, so you have to have a lot of fluidity to turn your hips and run. So Israel Mukuamu in the slot, what does a slot receiver do? It's a lot of option routes, left, right here, sit in the zone. Slot receivers, they do that all the time, right? The occasional deep route here and there, but like it's usually the low layer of a layered route, right? So like the outside guy goes high, the slot receiver goes low, and they're trying to trap a corner. They're trying to trap a corner in a dead man zone, right? That's what they usually do. So a nickel corner like Israel Mukuamu, who's 6'4", who has range, but here's the thing too, like the lack of fluidity in his hips doesn't really prevent him from being a bad nickel corner, because like you're not really going deep on slot routes, right, Caleb? Like what's the slants? Probably not slant, not even a slant. Route. Yeah, like unless like everyone's going seam. Slot a crosser, probably a dig or an out. You know what I mean? But those were like 12 yards, 12, 15 yards probably. It depends on the scheme. But mostly like you're trying to cross people. And Mukuamu, he's just like, all right, cool. It is range, 6'4", can run, but he doesn't really have to use a lot of his hips as a slot, So he has a deficiency in Israel Mukuamu. Dan Quinn, smart play. He's like, what? He's probably like, he can cover, but he can't cover outside. Outside, right? Because the outside is like they're the fast guys, they're the big guys. He needs fluidity in his hips. Let me put him in slot. Yeah. If I'm completely wrong on this, right? Coaches, correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Any other coaches on Twitter, if they see this, like, correct me if I'm wrong. But like that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. But yeah, we got to get to the worst part of this game, which was goddamn Brett Maher. Holy shit!
He burned you again. He burned you again, didn't he? He burned you.
He did something that's never been done in NFL history. Never has there been.
You know what, Brett Maher? You know what?
In a row in a game.
You know what, Brett Maher?
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Exactly what you are. Who we thought you were.
Oh my God! Like I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
The
I
first one.
couldn't believe it.
Here's the thing, Caleb. I wasn't. I was coming in and out of it because I was also watching tennis, and I heard he missed the first one. I was like, okay, that's fine. You missed. It's fine. You missed one. That's cool. I heard he missed the second one. I was like, wait, two? Like, okay, come on, Brett. Get your stuff together. When I heard he missed 3 in a row, and I was like, yo, what's going on right now, dog? Yo, okay, I know he's not doing this, right? But I quickly thought, this bro has money on the game, don't he?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like you betting on the other team, you point shaving pieces.
You bet the under. You bet the under.
Like, God damn it. I just
By the way,
don't know what's going on.
All jokes. We're jokes. Jokes. All right, continue, Caleb.
Preface. He missed the one extra point against Washington, so it was really 5 in a row that he missed, which is just unbelievable. But he finally got one, and I cheered like it was a touchdown that he got the final extra points.
That's just funny, dog. Hey man, he made one. Could this be a streak? Confidence builder.
I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know. It's the field, because both Washington and Tampa Bay don't have the best fields. So that could be a problem for him, because look at Roberto Guayo when he was with the Bucs. I mean, he couldn't kick a field goal either.
Yeah, he's the greatest college football kicker of all time, bro. Like, it was like the weirdest thing in the world. Like, seeing that man's fall from grace, it threw me off. I was kind of sad. I'm like,
yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if he just can't kick on those type of fields or whatever. I don't know, because
they're pretty horrible. No, Tampa Bay's field's not that bad though. It's not. It's Washington's is pretty bad. Washington's is pretty bad. And Chicago's the worst. You know what I mean? Like, but no, yeah, like he was good most of the season. He was in 50 yarders.
That's the unbelievable part. That's the so surprising part of how good he was throughout the season. Like, he surprised me. Like, I didn't think
he was in 50s, dog, with ease. He was in 50s with ease, like up through uprights. Like, it wasn't like, oh, did he almost hit the 50? It's like, nah, he hit that 50. And it was still high and woo. Like, he was hitting 50s. Didn't he hit like 3 250-yard field goals in one game this year? Like, he banged 2 of them in a row. I think so. Like, so and I think that 60-yarder was like, it had enough. It cleared the crossbar. Yeah, it cleared the crossbar by a significant margin.
They called timeout.
Yeah. So he hit back-to-back 60-yarders, and they both cleared the crossbar by a significant amount. You know what I mean? So yeah. So like, I was on Twitter, Giants Twitter. Lawrence Tynes, shout out to LT, the other LT, the legend. He said, "Hey man, kicking's not that hard. You lace up your boot, you dig deep, and you kick." And LT's I don't care.
That's all your only job. That's all you do all day at practice. I mean, you're just kicking the ball.
Literally, dude. Like, in a kicker saying this, man. Sometimes kickers give other kickers excuses. Lawrence Tynes was like, "Nah, dog. You lace up your boot, you dig it up, and you kick. Like, it's not like do your thing. Like if an NFL kicker who's hit game winners and pressured games are saying, bro, it's like, get your stuff together. It's not that hard. It's saying that. How can I disagree with the brother? I can't disagree with Lawrence Tynes. I can't. It's weird disagreeing with the man who has done it. The man probably kicked one of the most difficult pressurized kicks in NFL history. That kick in Lambeau Field, to win the game, he was kicking a rock. He kicked a rock through an upright. Like people talk about I talk about that kick all the time. I'm like, bro, that's one of the greatest kicks in NFL history. People are like, you're just a Giants fan. It's like, no, think about it. It's negative degrees. It's wind chill. No, it's like 20 degrees, I think. Like, wind chill above negative. You could breathe out your soul. You know what I mean? And the football is the football was frozen. And the football was frozen. Like imagine, Caleb, someone's hiking a rock to you. He hikes a rock. Someone has to position the rock perfectly, and it's cold. You know. I mean, no one wants to admit it. That, there's probably a little shiver, and then Lawrence Tynes has to kick a rock through an upright. Like, snap. You know what? Let me look up how far that kick was. Continue, Caleb, about Brett Maher.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody be saying like, oh, we should fire him, we should get rid of him. At this point in the season, I mean, there's not even 32 good kickers in the league. So
you guys did sign Tristan. You guys did sign Tristan Vinicanzo today to the practice squad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to bring in somebody, but I don't think he's, we're just going to replace Brett Maher at this point, unless this guy is just like excellent. He's making everything. I guess at that point we would. But it's hard to find any kickers in the league that have been as good as Brett Maher this season. So I mean, if and it's on a short week, how much time is this new guy going to have to, practice kick, getting rhythm? I don't know. I'm just hoping that Brett Maher, gets his mind right and is back to the way he was, and hopefully it's not a problem for this next game. But I'm just hoping. But
I got it. That's 47 yards, Caleb. The man kicked 47 yards. He kicked a 47-yard field goal. He kicked a rock 47 yards, bro. And it was a negative 23 below zero wind chill. It was negative 23 wind chill, bro.
Oh, you saw the wind chill on Coughlin's face.
Yeah, like Coughlin stopped being white. He was red. Like that's how, like, you know what I mean? Like if Lawrence Tynes tell you, wrap it up, like it's not like, bro, like I'm not gonna disagree with you, big dog. And but here's the thing too, man. He missed the 2 previous field goal attempts. He missed the 43-yarder late in the 4th and a shank after a high snap to end the game. Like it was from 36 yards. So he was 0 for 2 at that, not 0 for 2. He missed 2, and then he kicked the 47-yarder, bro. It's Lawrence Tynes is I love Lawrence Tynes. Love that guy. Love him. I'm so mad that we got rid of him. When he left, we had kicking problems. When he left, we had kicking problems. One, we employed a kicker who's a horrible human being in Josh Brown, and then we had Aldrich Rosas, who had a great 1 year, and then he like stopped being good, and then we just like we're like, oh my God, someone save us. And then Graham Gano became a free agent, and we signed him. Shout out to you, Graham. Love you. At one point, who was our best offensive weapon at the time? Continue, Caleb.
But yeah, that pretty much was the game. Obviously we started this. We finally won the road playoff game in 30 years. Awesome. Finally beat Brady for the first time. Mm-hmm. And that gets his second playoff win in dominant fashion. So that's as many as Romo had in his career. I mean, basically, he's done everything Romo has done. Getting into the playoffs win division as many times, and now he has many playoff wins. So
at this moment, I think Dak Prescott's the 4th greatest quarterback in Cowboys history.
Probably. I mean,
but
I would say he's equal right now. He has the equal amount of accomplishments right now as Romo has had.
Yeah, and Romo's 4th. Romo was 4th. Now Romo is 5th and Dak is 4th.
I would say Romo was 3rd. Romo was
3rd. 3rd?
Yeah.
You're going to disrespect Don Meredith like that?
Don Meredith, yeah. I mean, he was a champion, but he didn't have a lot of numbers. He didn't have big numbers.
He played for y'all in the 60s.
I'm not even saying. I'm saying he didn't even have big numbers back then. But he won a lot. That's what he did. He won a lot.
Yeah, Don Meredith did win a lot.
He didn't play for that long. He only had like 5 good seasons with the Cowboys.
Because you guys only existed for like 10. It's became the Cowboys in like 1960.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's a small stretch of time, and then he retired.
And became one of the greatest broadcasters of all time. Shout out to you, Don Meredith and Frank Gifford. Who would have known a Giant and a Cowboy in the Monday night booth with Howard Cosell became one of the greats? R.I.P. Love you. Oh wait, hold on. Are they dead?
No, but yeah, so that's just like I said, that's just adding to his resume. Keep climbing up the ladder on the Cowboys' history of quarterback.
You know who 1 and 2 is? So 1 and 2 is pretty easy.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah, it's Aikman and then Captain America.
I mean, but
some people prefer Captain America over Aikman. It's true. You know, well, some people do.
I mean, well, no, I think most people do. I mean, most people,
most people prefer Roger Staubach, really?
Yeah, Roger Staubach is the first. Like, he was the first great quarterback for us. I mean, he was everything.
Don Meredith, for sure. You know, keep disrespecting Don Meredith. Keep disrespecting Don. Just keep doing it.
Roger Staubach was the Cowboys. I mean, he was just everything, and he got to 5 Super Bowls. So
won 2 of them.
2. Yeah.
But even the generation that grew up in the 90s watching Troy Aikman, they were like, nah.
Well, obviously they are going to prefer Aikman.
Yeah. But do you think I don't want to talk about Aikman because
I didn't grow up in either era, so I would defer to the Roger Staubach. I think he was more important.
His highlights are better too. Well, you ever watch that? You ever watch a Roger Staubach highlight tape? You're like, damn, this is good. Yeah.
I mean, he was a very mobile quarterback. I mean, he was running over real plays.
A lot of Aikman's highlights are like this: hike.
See, who's being disrespectful now, you asshole? Who's being disrespectful now?
Me. Shout out to you, Troy Aikman. Hey, come on the show, Troy. Hey, no. You know what's funny? All right, so the Chargers were against, I think, the Miami Dolphins, and Scott Van Pelt asked, like, "Hey, Troy, like, Justin Herbert hasn't thrown a touchdown in like 4 games. That's kind of concerning, right? Where's his touchdown passes?" And Aikman got so mad. He was like, "It's not all about touchdown passes, Scott. It's not all about touchdown passes." Because Troy Aikman got that a lot in his career. He's like, "Yo, where are your touchdown passes?" He's like, "It's not all about touchdown passes." It's like, yeah, but Emmitt Smith has 4 rushing touchdowns. Where's your 1 touchdown? Leave me alone. But yeah, shout out to Troy Aikman. Shout out to you, dog. He's probably never gonna come on the show ever. Even though it's all jokes, Troy. Because I'm a Giants fan. Am I not supposed to joke about your career? Absolutely. At least Caleb didn't try to kill me this time. All right, but on that note, King Julian.
All hail the New York Giants!
The Dallas Cowboys are not the only people who won a road playoff game this week. The New York Giants went into Minnesota and beat Minnesota. I've been telling people all week, a couple weeks ago, if we did not turn over the ball those 2 times, the Patrick Peterson interception and the fumble by Daniel Bellinger, we beat Minnesota in Minnesota 3 weeks ago. We beat them. I tell everyone this. And they still had to hit a 60-yard field goal to beat us. People were like, everyone was picking us to upset them. Because, yeah, we're better than them. Yeah, I said it. The team
I would not say you're better than them.
Okay, all right. You know what? That was a little premature. We have a better quarterback.
I don't know.
We do. Daniel Jones showed that week he's better than Kirk Cousins, man. That's what I'm saying.
He was better that day. You were the better team that day.
He's better, period.
But you can't say they aren't more talented than you guys. You guys don't have a lot of talent.
No, I didn't say we're more talented than them. I just said we're better. There's a difference. We're a better coach team. We play together. We're a better team.
You're a better coach team. Yeah. And that was the difference in the game to me, was that you guys are a better coach.
Exactly. And Brian Daboll showed, like, hey man, give me some scotch tape and some random fixings and I'll make a team, goddammit. And that's what we did, man. Like, Isaiah Hodgins is a revelation. He is phenomenal. His spatial awareness, the way he just knows where the third down is. It's like, oh, it's 3rd and 7. Let me increase my route by a yard to get the 8th. Like the offensive line played very well. There were moments where, Evan Neal stopped Danielle Hunter enough, right? Like if Daniel Jones held the ball on a second more than some of the throws, Danielle Hunter would have gotten the interception. But Evan Neal, like prevented Danielle Hunter from getting there fast enough, right? And Daniel Jones, the ball was already released. So Danielle Hunter would have already beaten Evan Neal, right? But the ball was already gone. The ball was already gone. So Daniel Jones knew it. And he would Richie James, shout out to you, Richie. You played well. No drop passes by Richie James. There was a crucial drop at the end that we may have thought could have crushed us, but it didn't crush us because our defense showed up. Darius Slayton, throughout the entire game, Darius Slayton was having a great game. No drops, was very good. And then he was wide open. He has the talent. He's very fast. He runs very crisp routes. I like him. But his drop percentage, man, is pretty bad. And it's not, I think that's why people were like saying why he wasn't playing early on, is that the coach was like, dude, you have drop issues. Like drop issues. But here's the thing. Brian Daboll, as the head coach, instead of saying like, God damn it, Darius, what the hell is wrong with you? He went to Darius and like, I can't really read lips, but like, he wasn't yelling at him. He's probably telling him like, hey man, it's fine, calm down. That's what I'm gleaming from the interaction. But he may have been cussing him out. We don't know.
That one on third down was just horrible. Like he had tons of room to run.
That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one. He was wide open. No one, like he would have had like 15 yards. He would have had like 15 yards. We would have scored a touchdown, because if he did that, we're in the red zone. And like I say every time, I looked up the stat about our red zone efficiency. Red zone appearances, just touchdowns, not even field goals, just touchdowns, we're 7th in the league at 63.7%. Just touchdowns, right? If you go in the red zone and you only score touchdowns, we convert at a 63.7% clip, which is 7th in the league. And now if you add field goals, we bump up to like 85%, and we're like 5th in the league or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's what happens. We're a very good it's guaranteed points in the red zone. It's guaranteed 3 or a touchdown. And that's what happened. We got into the red zone. We scored every single time. Saquon Barkley's 2 touchdowns. Well, no, Saquon Barkley's touchdown. Isaiah Hodgins' touchdown. When we get in the red zone, we score. Saquon Barkley was the engine that kept running, man. Because that touchdown run, when he like just ran, forget the blockers. He ran straight at Dalvin Tomlinson, Caleb, and hit him in his chest and shoved Dalvin Tomlinson into the end zone with him. That's power. And he didn't care that Dalvin Tomlinson is 6'4", 300 pounds. He hit him right in the chest, and he power drived him to the ground. Touchdown by him. Shout out to, John Feliciano. He has his iffy spots as a center, but when he pulls and he like leads the way, he's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal blocker. Saquon Barkley's other touchdown. Like Saquon Barkley had 2 touchdowns in this game, and both of them were.
That's what they used him majority as a receiver, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. We threw the ball a lot. We threw the ball 35 times because we realized something. Minnesota's DBs aren't as good as people think they are. And our ragtag group of receivers, they start old ass Patrick Peterson, I guess. And we literally, how disrespectful, like for the entire season, everyone's telling you that the Giants receiving corps is trash. They're all garbage. And the Giants offense were like saying, we're still better than your DBs. And we showed it. Isaiah Hodgins was getting whatever he wanted. Richie James was open, like wide open a couple of times. Darius Slayton was wide open a couple of times. We schemed them open, and the DBs had nothing to do. They couldn't stop it. Daniel Jones, 24 for 35, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 17 carries, Caleb. He had 17 carries for 78 yards. He's the first ever player in his first ever start in the playoffs to throw for 300 and 2 touchdowns and run for 70 yards. The first ever player to ever do that. A couple weeks ago, at the beginning of the season, Caleb, what did I say about the news? I said we could win a Super Bowl with this kid. Because I tell everyone, this is the ultimate team sport. Quarterbacks, just don't mess it up, right? I bring up Trent Dill for Brad Johnson. Just don't mess it up. Brock Purdy is the human embodiment of just don't mess it up. Just don't mess it up, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't mess it up. Daniel Jones is basically being told, hey, don't mess it up. And he's like, cool, I got you. But I'm also going to make some plays, right? So you can make some plays. And he went out and he made some plays.
You know what? I think a lot of that has to do with Daboll, because of him cleaning up his mistakes and his turnovers that he was prone to having previously. Because you could definitely tell a difference, even with Josh Allen. Look, Josh Allen wasn't as prone to all the mistakes and interceptions he's been having lately. What's the difference? Is that Daboll's not there no more. So I think yeah, it definitely makes a difference in how these two quarterbacks who both run are turning the ball over.
Here's the thing, man. People forget Daniel Jones is a big boy. He's a big boy. He's 6'5". He's 6'5", man. And Brian Daboll's like, run. You're 6'5". Stiff arm a corner. And he stiff arms a corner. There's moments where I'm like, hey, man, you need to calm down a little. I don't want you to get hurt, because when you're in open space, defensive players can like whack you if they want to. And he's not a very gracious slider, because he doesn't really slide, which kind of annoys me. He's like, please, can you slide? I don't want you to get hurt. But man, just phenomenal all around by Daniel Jones. And he was picking his spots, man. And, and it's like, he was in, it's just like the way he's just improving, just keeps improving and keep improving. Brian Daboll's the key. I'm saying, like, if Mike Kafka leaves for a head coaching job in a couple of years, that's fine. I'm not mad. I'm not going to be sad, because you know why? Because of Brian Daboll. Because he'll find an OC he can work with and do all that jazz with. You know what I mean? It's like Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid's OCs keep leaving. Frank Wright, Doug Peterson, and then Matt Nagy and Eric Bieniemy, and they all work well with Andy Reid. I think Brian Daboll's gonna be like, whatever OC comes, we're gonna work well together, because overall, it's a collaborative effort between me and you. Shout out to Wink Martindale. Shout out to Wink, right? I wasn't tearing my hair out. I decided to get a haircut instead as a celebration. So Wink Martindale, how much of a good corner makes a difference, right? Justin Jefferson. Let me tell you Justin Jefferson's stats, Caleb. He had 7 catches for 47 yards. He had 13 yards in the second half. Adoree Jackson. That's the name you got to know. Adoree Jackson. Like I told last week, I said Adoree Jackson doesn't need to cover him for that long, because there's always going to be a blitzer. Just covering him up enough for the blitzer to get there. And the pressure did get there. He had to check down a lot to TJ Hawkinson. There's a lot of check downs to TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson had a great game. 10 catches, 129 yards, but he had no touchdowns. A lot of yards, but no touchdowns. That's because we severely lack linebackers. And we were starting a linebacker that's only been with us for like 3 weeks. We started Gerard Davis in a playoff game. His first game with us was last week. So there was a miscommunication. And Xavier McKinney there was one play where Xavier McKinney bit on a wide receiver screen action, and then TJ Hawkinson slipped, right? Because he bit on the action. So Xavier McKinney was like, he was trying to make a play, but he bit on the action, and TJ was like wide open. But here's what happened at the end of the game. Xavier McKinney was like, your job is to stop TJ Hawkinson. That was your job. And I want to break down the yardage. Because because TJ Hawkinson, it's linebacker, safety. I think they should have put Xavier McKinney on TJ Hawkinson from the start of the game. Man to man. And guess what happened at the end of the game? It was man to man, 4th down and 8. Biggest play of the game. And they're like, X, TJ, man to man, no help. What does Xavier McKinney do? You know, he gives up the short pass smartly, and he wraps him up right away, stuffs him 6 yards short. It was only like a 2-yard pass. It was only like a 2-yard pass. You know what I mean? So he let TJ Hawkinson come to him. Smart play, right? Complete the pass, but you kept him in front of you. It was 6 yards short of the sticks, and you wrapped up and you stopped him. Instead of hitting him, you wrapped up.
Kirk Cousins was just throwing conservatively all game. A lot of short passes, and you can even tell. I mean, look how he ended up. You know, he throws the check down on the 4th and I think it was 8 to end the game. So I mean,
quarterbacks were like defending him, like people. Oh, but he was like, Justin Jefferson was like double covered. So throw it to him. Throw it. You did that one time, and he like jumped over 3 people to catch a ball. It's because the Giants made Kirk Cousins not want to throw to Justin Jefferson because of the scheme. They shut him down in the second half. So in Kurt's mind's like, I can't go to JJ because he's been shut down. So TJ. But Xavier McKinney was like, catch it, wrap up, tackle, bam. But the real MVP of the defense, though, Dexter Lawrence, hot 9-7 himself. He's a grown man playing against boys. The man just shoved Garrett Bradbury out the way. The man is just phenomenal. I want to shout out a coach we got from Minnesota, actually, Caleb. We took Minnesota's defensive line coach, Andre Patterson. And Andre Patterson has helped Dexter Lawrence achieve what he likes. We drafted Dexter Lawrence. He was the pick in the Odell Beckham trade that we got from Cleveland. So we basically traded Odell Beckham Jr. for Olivier Vernon, Kevin Zeitler, and Dexter Lawrence. That's what we traded Odell Beckham for. You know, two of the 3 are no longer with us. But we kept the best out of the 3, and Dexter Lawrence. Him and Leonard Williams were in the top 5 in QB pressures during Wildcard Weekend. The only person who beat them, Caleb, you know him, Micah Parsons. That's the only person who beat him in QB pressures this weekend. When both your defensive tackles are pressuring the quarterback at a clip as an edge rusher, you have some solid defensive tackles. Solid defensive tackles. I keep telling people like, why are we very, very bad against the run? We're not very bad against the run. It's the problem is we're bad against the run when like we sub Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams out. When we have like our back, because like they're rotating. There's Justin Ellis and Harry Mondu, and they're rotating. But let's just say, man.
Hey, it's the same with when Jonathan Hankins is out. That's when they're vulnerable.
Exactly, and it isn't too with Dalvin Cook. He didn't really do much. 4 yards of carry on 15 carries. He never busted out a big run. We contained him. We made them one-dimensional. Our run defense played very well. You know? I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Next week, we're against the Eagles. Now let's preview Caleb. I could come talk to y'all about like, the scheme and the blah, 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 but I don't have any all 22 footage. I got to wait like 3-4 days for that, or 3 days for that. And it's kind of annoying. But I'm not really a coach. I'm not going to sit here and be a coach. I'm not going to sit here and be a fraud and be like, I analyze tape. I don't. Yeah. I'm just watching the game. And this is what I'm seeing from the game broadcast. Is Dexter Lawrence just shoving Garrett Bradbury around? Us stopping Justin Jefferson in the second half. Xavier McKinney, going man up on TJ Hawkinson and saying, I want TJ. Give me TJ. And stopping TJ. Seeing Daniel Jones, using a weapon he rarely used as a runner was phenomenal. It was tremendous. Saquon Barkley, he didn't have a lot of rush yards. He only had 53 yards, but he ran at a 6-yard clip. He had 9 carries, bro. Yeah. We won a game where Saquon Barkley only rushed the ball 9 times. So you're telling me we can win games?
Daniel Jones is running the ball the whole time.
Exactly. But those two rushing touchdowns Saquon had were tremendous. The pull by John Feliciano, and him hitting I don't know which Minnesota defender was. He hit the Minnesota defender, and Saquon bounced it, and boom, touchdown. And then Saquon just running through Dalvin Thompson's chest is just tremendous. And lastly, speaking of blocks, crucial block too. Crucial block. Kenny Galladay, where he just straight murks Duke Shelley, so Saquon Barkley can get a couple more yards and a first down. That was crucial because we needed those. We needed that first down. So Kenny Galladay, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. I love you, dog. All right, Caleb, let's preview next week. It is NFL storied history. Cowboys, Niners, you name it. They've been a part of it. They're the famous years in the 90s where y'all kept stopping them, and then they finally got y'all in 94. And then there's the catch.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, 94, yeah.
It was 94. Right? Yeah, then there's the catch.
Yeah.
But history will be made again. You guys go into Levi Stadium. Last year, where they came into your house and made you guys cry. It's very sad. Especially all the fans. Especially that one dude who was hugging his girlfriend. I don't feel sorry for that dude. He must have had a horrible, horrible day in a week. Just god awful.
It was a horrible day.
I know. I'm sorry. I watched it. I was kind of smiling, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, your team wasn't there, so.
Yeah, when we're running QB sneaks on 3rd and 8 in our own 10, we better not be there. How a long way we've come, right? The Giants are not QB sneaking in their own 10, 3rd and no, screw you, Joe Judge. Screw you. Screw you, man. But yeah, Niners, Cowboys. Y'all didn't face each other this year.
Yeah,
is it a rematch?
No, we did not.
Okay, that's good. Go, continue.
Go. But yeah, it's crazy to think that so many playoff games in the between the Niners and Cowboys in history. That last year was like the first time since the 94 game that we even played each other in the playoffs.
Y'all went through some down years, both of you.
But yeah, we're back. Yeah. But yeah, we're back here. Right back against the 49ers, trying to get revenge on them for what they did to us. And obviously I think they're probably a better overall team than they were even last year. So that's even more of a challenge for us to overcome.
What's the keys to victory? I definitely.
What's that?
The keys to victory. If you guys win, how would you win? How are you gonna win if you win?
It starts with stopping the run. We got to stop Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's just the biggest addition to that team that they have in the trade deadline. That was a great trade for them. And he's been everything for them. He's running, he's catching, he's just doing so much. And Kyle Shanahan just knows how to scheme him up to make big plays. I mean, he's just getting big play after big play, and it's ridiculous how good that guy is.
For years, it was said, if you give Kyle Shanahan a great running back, what's gonna happen? They did it this year, and you know what happened? They rattled off 10 in a row. People talk about Brock Purdy winning 6, right? But the winning streak started when Christian McCaffrey showed up. He's the biggest key. It's him, right? Kyle Shanahan can make a great running back, right? Alfred, the Shanahans do that all the time. Them and Bobby Turner, Alfred Morris, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Matt Breida in San Francisco. Running backs fit, but everyone's like, give him a great running back. What happened? Boom. And you can't say Christian McCaffrey is a product of the system because he came from Carolina where he was the system, So there's that. Shout out to Brodney. Shout out to Brodney and Mr. J. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the Panthers fans. I know you guys are happy, but also bittersweet because Christian McCaffrey left you. We'll keep you guys in our hearts. Continue.
But yeah, I think that's the main thing we have to shut down, because if we shut him down, well, I don't think we're going to shut him down, but at least we can slow him down, contain him, where he's not killing us. then we can force Brock Purdy to make it all on him. He has to go and make the throws, and beat our defense that way. And he's a rookie, has he really been put in that spot where he's forced to, do everything? I don't think he has, because I don't think he's faced a defense like ours. I don't think he's faced the pressure that we can bring. I don't think he's faced, a Micah Parsons, and he'll have to face that, this week in this game. So we'll see if he's ready for that. And at some point he's gonna. That I think that's the reason why everybody's been saying, oh, he's gonna have like these rookie moments and rookie mistakes, at some point. And I think our defense is the defense that can make them force them into those mistakes with the type of pressure that we get, and the fact that we have led the league in turnovers the past 2 years. So we know how to take away the ball, and that's going to be a big point in this game. The fact that we can do that, because he's had some mistakes. He's thrown kind of bad balls where the kind of defender kind of drops the ball, and he's been lucky that way, but he ain't going to get that luck against us, because we make those interceptions, we turn the ball over, we get those fumbles, and it's shown.
Speaking to your defensive line comment, Caleb. Speaking of defensive line comment, so Brock Purdy showed up in the Miami game, right? So he faced Miami, Bucks, Seahawks, Commanders, Raiders, Cardinals, Seahawks, right? The only person in that realm that I'm like, oh, a defensive end that's pretty scary are Bradley Chubb in Miami, and Chandler Jones and Max Crosby in the Raiders. Commanders still were without Chase Young. He was still hurt. They also had Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. So there's them. The Seahawks, I don't know who's on their defensive line, period. Yeah. And the Bucks, they beat them 35-7. So that defensive line didn't do nothing. The Cardinals, J.J. Watt, Zach Allen, Isaiah Simmons, who? Yeah. And then the Seahawks again, he hasn't faced Micah and a Tank Lawrence and in your plethora of people you just kind of sub in and out, So it's gonna be the first time where he's against the Nick Bosa type player, because he faces Nick Bosa in practice all the time, but it's practice, right? But now he has number 11, who is a perennial defensive player of the year player. I hate saying it because he's a Cowboy, but it's the truth. We can't lie to ourselves here. So it's gonna be the first time where it's like there's I love Max Crosby, but there's Max Crosby and there's Micah Parsons. People would say Max Crosby's great. Like, people like Max Crosby. I'm not disrespecting Max Crosby. He's good. I like him. People say he's really good at his job. But people are like, but then there's Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? Then there's Micah, Yeah. So it's going to be the first time where someone is coming for his head in Brock Purdy,
Yeah.
But we'll see if, how much, but here's the thing, Caleb. The Niners do have a counterbalance to that. And his name is Trent Williams.
Yeah, but Trent Williams is only on one side of the ball. And
so you're moving. So here's the thing right there. I was waiting for you to say that. Michael Parsons is going to eat Mike McGlinchey alive. Mike McGlinchey loves himself some holding. He loves a good hold. I've done a lot of Niners games this past year. Always McGlinchey with the holds all the time. McGlinchey always with the holding. It's quite annoying. It's quite annoying, to be honest with you. So I think Michael Parsons, if you keep him on the right side, you basically put Tank as kind of like a sacrificial lamb. Like, hey, Tank, just go fight Trent Williams and keep him occupied. Micah go kill Mike McGlinchey. That should be the best possible thing to do. Or bump Tank inside and have Sam Williams on the outside and be like, hey, Sam, go rush on Trent Williams. Sam Williams like, sure. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing because of Trent Williams. But you free up Micah to go against Mike McGlinchey. So matchups. I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah.
But also, like I said, I mentioned that we were tackling really good in this last game. that's going to be really important this game as well. Considering they have Debo out there. He's tough to bring down, even though he's receiver. He runs really hard. Like I said, Van Der Esch is going to be getting
key.
big with that.
He's going to be key.
He's going to have to make those tackles. So yeah, like I said, if we can tackle him, we can stop him, stop McCaffrey, then I think our defense and get that pressure on Brock Purdy, make him mistakes, make him have to force him into bad throws. I think we can take advantage of them. Then on the other side, Dak's just got to play how he played. Like he just got to keep going. He's got to be who he was on Monday night. And that's why I defend Dak so much, because people always be attacking him all the time. Because I know we can play that way. I know we can. I've seen it. I believe it. Like he is this good. Like he can play that good. And that's why I defend him. So if he just does that again, he can take advantage. Because I think some of the weaknesses is as their secondary, and CeeDee Lamb been playing awesome second half of the year. So he can definitely take advantage of some of their weaknesses that they have there. And Dak just got to put it on, and CeeDee's going to make it happen.
They lost Emmanuel Mosley, so they had to play Chardavius Ward a lot. I think that's a big problem, because DK Metcalf. I think the Seahawks game. The reason the Seahawks game went out of hand is that it was the 2 interceptions by Geno, 2 picks by Geno really kind of switched the game around. But before that, DK Metcalf was having his way. Yeah, DK Metcalf. Yeah. What's up?
They were losing the game at halftime.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, DK Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb, he was having his way with Chardavius Ward. Yeah. So if CeeDee Lamb can recreate that impact, and Dak Prescott does not throw 2 interceptions, I think it was the 2 picks and then the fumble. So it was, that was the key. So Geno had 2. No, it was an interception and a fumble. It was an interception and a fumble, not 2 picks. It was 1 interception, 1 fumble. And then the Niners just won. Boom.
And that was big in the game, and that's big for us too, because we didn't have any turnovers this last game, and everybody want to talk about that. Oh, Dak just throwing interceptions all the time. Like, no, it's not really the case.
Not in the big games.
That forced those type of interceptions. But if we play a clean game, then I don't think we should have a problem, honestly. Just not turn over the ball. I think that just gonna sit there and do his thing, pick them apart.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, and then as far it's gonna be tough to run. Like it's gonna be tough. They tough rush defense.
It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a defensive slugfest. Personally, in my own opinion. Because here's the thing, your defense line is pretty well good. Their defensive line and linebackers are pretty good. I think. I like Leighton Vander Esch, but they clearly have the edge in the linebacking department because they have 3 linebackers that are pretty good. You have Leighton Vander Esch and Mo Clark and I don't know. I don't know who else. Anthony Barr. But I'm sorry, but if Caleb, if I told you the Niners are giving you all 3 of their linebackers, Caleb, do you want them? Would you say yes?
I mean, yeah. They're pretty good.
That's the point. So, but they have Fred Warner, Aziz Al-Shari, and Dre Greenlaw.
I think they can be a rational problem, though.
Sure, Caleb. Yeah, have Leighton Vander Esch over the best off-ball linebacker in the entire NFL. Cool. Yeah, keep lying to yourself. Keep lying to yourself.
No.
If they're like, hey, you want Fred Warner? You'd be like, sure, I'll take Fred Warner. Thank you.
No, I want Leighton.
All right, whatever. But the point is, they Bosa, Jordan Willis, Eric Armstead, Samson Ebukam. They have a very deep defensive line as well. And they have Miko Ryans is damn good at his job. Same thing as Dan Quinn's very good at his job. I think if you guys win this, nasty, like 2013, like something like that. But if they win it, I think they win it like 16-13 or some nonsense like that. I think it's gonna be a defensive slugfest, in my opinion. I think so.
But I'm just going back to the run game. Come more, I give him a lot of crap. Because I don't.
You haven't talked about your offense. Good. Jesus Christ! I'm trying to get to my damn Giants preview, man. Hurry up! Hurry up with your damn preview, man.
But yeah, what he did in the last game was awesome. The fact that his split on the run and pass was pretty much even, was perfect. And that's what he's got to do this game. You can't, even though if we struggle against run, we just got to keep at it. We can't get past that beat. We can't. If we get past that beat, it's just not going to be good for us. And that's the reason why we're probably going to lose. If we're going to lose, then that's going to be the reason for it. But like I said, I actually think there's going to be a little high scoring than you do. I think they have a lot of offensive talent. I think we have a lot of offensive talent. And I think that's going to show here. So I got it like 30-27 Cowboys.
Okay, 30-27. Got you. All right. The New York Giants will be going against the Philadelphia Eagles. Key to the game is this: you limit turnovers and you make sure you run the ball against their deep defensive line because they're rotating, right? But they are a little banged up, though. They're a little banged up. But unfortunately, they have the bye week to get more healthier, so that's kind of counterintuitive. Stopping the run. That's how we win the game. We stop the run. And you know what? Most importantly, you stop Boston Scott, goddamn.
Is that Jalen Hurts or Sanders?
The run. All of them. All three of them. All three of them. You stop it. You stop Miles Sanders. You stop Boston Scott. You stop Jalen Hurts. We're probably gonna have a spy on Jalen Hurts, right? Like in the game against Minnesota, we had two people on Justin Fields. So in this game, we're gonna have two people on Jalen Hurts. Basically, we're gonna have the defensive line, a lineman, and a spotter on the backside. So it's gonna be a lot of one-on-ones on the outside with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, right? And here's the thing too: we can't let tight ends kill us. But the thing is, I think Dallas Goedert is gonna have a field day.
Yeah, you guys are terrible at tight end.
Against tight ends, we're trash. But here's the thing too: like, depends on who we put who's the spy on Jalen Hurts. Do we put a linebacker on Jalen Hurts and put Xavier McKinney on Dallas Goedert? Or do we have Xavier McKinney? Because Xavier McKinney is a safety. He's a little too high. So it's got to be a linebacker, right? So which linebacker do we choose to spot Jalen Hurts? Gerard Davis, who just showed up. Jalen Smith, who? Are we going to reactivate Michael McFadden? Are we going to reactivate him? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Because he wasn't active for the Minnesota game. So are we going to activate him for this game to make him a spy? Do we play Dane Belton? Do we have three safeties and have a safety play linebacker? Because, boom, I just thought about it. Do we put Landon Collins on Jalen Hurts? Safety linebacker. Kind of like have a safety and a linebacker in one. So because our three linebackers last game were Landon Collins, Gerard Davis, and Jalen Smith. Do we have Landon Collins on Jalen Hurts the entire game? And have Xavier McKinney on the tight end? Or do we put Landon Collins on the tight end and put Xavier McKinney on Jalen Hurts? Stopping Jalen Hurts is the key. So all I'll say is this: Fabian Moreau and Adoree Jackson are going to be on an island. They're going to be on an island. It's going to be one-on-one. Going to be one-on-one.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's going to happen, but it is what it is.
That's horrible.
It's not something I want. It's not going to be good. Our offense, run the ball. We run the ball. Here's the thing too, man. In that first matchup against them, we didn't have a lot of our players. We didn't have Adoree. We didn't have Xavier McKinney. There's a lot of players not playing. Isaiah Hodgins wasn't a full member of the team yet. He was just like here and there. But now he's our starting wide receiver. Could Darius Slayton and James Bradbury stop him? We'll see. We'll see. A lot of he's got a touchdown in 5 of his 6 games. He's now a touchdown in 6 of his 7. So he's a touchdown machine. Can he get another one? Maybe not. We'll see. He runs very crisp routes. He has very good body control. He has very nice hands, special awareness. That's the key. But the key is we need to run the ball and have a little giddy up in our motion because we need to tire out their defensive line. Because their defensive line is deep. Josh Sweat. I don't know. I don't think they have Derek Barnett anymore. Josh Sweat. Ndamukong Suh. I think they signed Linval Joseph, Fletcher Cox. They're deep. The Eagles are deep. And we need to make sure they are on the field constantly because we can't have them fresh. We cannot have them fresh. If they're fresh, it's not going to be very good for us. I want to double check their defensive line because I almost said Derek Barnett, but I think they cut him. Philadelphia. I was about to say and they have Derek Barnett, and I was like, wait, no, they don't. What the hell? Let me double check. Depth chart. All right, their defense, right? Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat. They have Jordan Davis, Linval Joseph, Ndamukong Suh, Robert Quinn. They have Robert Quinn. He's a backup, Caleb. Robert Quinn's a backup.
I thought he was hurt.
Robert Quinn?
He's not hurt anymore? Yeah, I thought he was hurt.
No, he's not hurt anymore. He's not hurt. Oh. He played the last week. He played the last week against us. We made them keep their starters in the game because it was a close game. They thought we were going to blow us out and they were going to pull everybody, but they weren't winning, so they kept everybody in, right? But then they also have Hassan Reddick. So Hassan Reddick, he blitzes as well. So we have to keep them. We can't allow them to sub. So we gotta not sub. We gotta go fast.
Well, even with that, all those pass rush, I think you could take advantage with Daniel Jones's running ability.
Exactly. So we run the ball, make them overcommit in their rush lanes. Make them overcommit in their rush lanes, and then he finds a little crease, gets 8, gets 10, gets 12, gets 8, 10, 12. On rush plays exactly. But we still got to tire them out. We can't have them sub. So I think we should go a little hurry up with no subs. Hurry up, no subs. Because if we hurry up with no subs, we don't have to wait for them to sub. So they can't sub. You know what I mean? So we got to hurry up and keep them on the field. Because if we sub, the ref forces us to stop or hurry up so they could sub. You know what I mean? So, but if we hurry up, no subs, the ref can't stop us. And if they want to sub, either they'll get a 12 men on the field penalty, or they got to do a timeout, or they got to keep the package they have on the field until they get a stop. I think we got to play fast. We got to play fast because we need that defensive line to not be fresh. We need them to breathe heavy, And you know what? It's revenge for 2008. They were the 6th seed. They beat Minnesota. They came to the Giants' crib and beat us. We're the 6th seed. We beat Minnesota, and we got to go to their crib, and we need to beat them. I haven't had a lot of happy moments in the past 6 years, Caleb. Last time we were in the playoffs was 2016. And unfortunately, I'm haunted by a group of wide receivers taking a picture on a boat with Justin Bieber and Trey Songz. What? I don't want to be haunted by a boat no more. Please. I don't want to be haunted by a boat no more. Win this game, please. Run the ball, stop the run, make their defensive line tired. Because their back end, they're kind of banged up too. Bradbury, Slay, and Devontae, and Maddox. They're very good corners. They're very good corners. But you go fast, everyone gets tired. Play fast, play with confidence, and let's just go out there and win, man. Let's go out there and win. Andrew Thomas, you need to help him. He's been playing lights out. He's playing left tackle. He's the 3rd best left tackle in the entire NFL. I saw Andrew Whitworth, Brandon Thorne, and Duke Manyweather. They had their top tackles. He was 3rd, only behind Trent Williams and I don't remember who. I think Laramie Tunsil was 2, and Andrew Thomas is 3. So we need to keep them on the field. We need to tire them out. We need to play fast. Daniel Jones needs to use his legs. Because guess what? There's going to be a moment where the defensive line gets there. And he has a little crease. And he needs to push his 6'5" body through that crease. And he needs to go. Keep the drive moving. And Nick Gates, John Feliciano, Mike Lewinsky, there's a lot I could say, like, hey, the schematics at this point in the season, Caleb, it's pretty simple. It's this: who wants it more? Who wants it more? We can talk about scheme. We can talk about like, oh, you put X on X. At the end of the day, who wants it more? We can talk about, oh, CeeDee Lamb on Tre'Davious Ward. That's gonna. But at the end of the day, what if Tre'Davious Ward wants it more than CD and he stops CD? At the end of the day, it's who wants it more. Do the Giants want it more? Does Saquon Barkley want to fight for that extra 3 yards, that extra yard, extra 2 yards? Does Daniel Jones wants to slip out and run and probably take a hit, but he got 25 yards, but he got hit and he gets up and bounces up? Does Darius Slayton want to beat Darius Slay on a route? Does Isaiah Hodgins want to get that extra 2 yards for that third down? It's who wants it more. Does Jalen Hurts want it more? Does Xavier McKinney, does someone step up and be like, I want to spot Jalen Hurts this game. Give me that job, and I'm going to shut in him. Do you want it? Does Landon Collins go up to Wink Martindale, hey, put me in the game, put me spotted up on Jalen Hurts? I got it. Does Xavier McKinney say, nah, LC, let me do it? Does Adoree Jackson say, I know we're going to go man, no help, that's fine. I got A.J. Brown. Never die easy. The great words of Walter Payton. Because if you do not cower and you do not relent, at some point you will find out if your opponent is just as mentally strong as you, and that means you could possibly lose this match. And you know what? If we do, they're better than us. But if we don't die easy and we find out we are mentally more stronger than them, we will win this game. Because at the end of the day, front runners always cave.
So I agree with you.
Who wants it more?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think them having a bye, I think they come out a little rusty. I think you guys can jump on them, and if you guys can get that lead, you can definitely take advantage and hang with them. And then also Jalen Hurts still dealing with the injury. So I mean, he did not look good in that when he came back from injury in that last game against you guys. That was against backups, and he was throwing pretty awful in that game. He wasn't running the ball definitely because he was trying to protect the shoulder, obviously. So if you guys just go after that shoulder, he's gonna have some problems throwing that ball. So
yeah,
I think guys win. Because I believe in this Eagles team. I think in the playoffs, I think just defenses figure this Eagles offense out. And I think that'll happen in this game. And so I got you guys probably like a weird score, like 26-24.
All right. I think we win a close one. 24-20. 24-20. All right, Caleb, where can people find you, my man?
Well, I'm just before we do that, I just want to say if that does happen, our predictions are correct. You know what that means.
You make money? Oh, no. Giants, Cowboys,
Giants in the championship.
Yes. My bad.
In Dallas.
Revenge for Thanksgiving Day. Giants are on a revenge tour. We beat Minnesota. We beat Philly.
No, it's revenge for 2007. That's what it's going to be.
No, it's revenge for my entire life because you guys annoy me. Continue. Where can people find you?
All right. You can find me at NFLKL22 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on this channel. Tonight. Well, when's this coming out? I don't even know.
Friday, special edition. Friday
coming out. Oh, so not tonight. You can find me. So it'll be the episode of Betting NFL will already be out for all your divisional round picks. I went great last weekend in the wild card, so if you should definitely watch that show if you want to make money because I was 5-0 in the Wildcard Weekend. So I'm looking to go 4-0 this weekend. So if you want to make some money, watch that. Watch this week's episode, and you can cash in. But you can find my articles that go along with that show on our website at letsgetreadynetwork.com.
All right, guys. I'm at Ferris Malone. You can find me at Ferris Malone on Twitter. Usually the show releases Mondays 3:00. This one the show releases, but unfortunately this week the Cowboys played on Monday, so it was no point having a show if one half of us couldn't talk about the game of his team that played. So we're doing a special episode. This releases on Friday 3:00, but usually this show is Mondays 3:00 Pacific Standard Time, 5 Central Time, 6 Eastern Time. So there's that. Every Friday on the entertainment channel, the OG Let's Get Ready Network channel, 3:00 every Friday, me and Dagan are reviewing the Rocky franchise leading up to to Creed 3 coming up. I believe it's in March. So Rocky 2 had just came out. Me and Dagan talked about Rocky. Me, Dagan, and Soda talked about Rocky 2. Me and Dagan talked about Rocky 1 already. That one's already out. So make sure to go to like and subscribe over there. I believe we're at 785 subscribers on that other channel, on the OG channel. We're 15 away from 800. We're 225 away from 1,000. So, share, like, subscribe, with your mom, your grandma, your brother, your sister, your father, your wife. Just share it and like and comment. As well as on this channel, we're at 68 subscribers. 68. So we're 2 away from 70. Which makes us 30 away from 100. When we get to 100, we get a custom URL for this channel. So make sure to like and subscribe this channel. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. We'll just keep building. We just keep building. We just keep building. We get to 70, then we get to 80, then 90, then 100, then 100, 200, 1,000. That's the way it is. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much to our patrons, like we played in the video. Everyone, have a nice day. Stay calm, stay cool. And we'll see y'all next week.
Go, Cowboys.